Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for your willingness to serve. Mr. Ganjei, you have been a prosecutor, and you've repeatedly claimed that attacks on law enforcement are unacceptable, which I think we all can agree. You've also said that people who engage in attacks on law enforcement should be held accountable. You stated in a Department of Justice press release just last month, quote, "Those who attack law enforcement officers are attacking the American system of justice." In another release, you said, quote, "Let it be known if you lay a hand on an officer, deputy, or federal agent, SDTX will do whatever it can to put you in federal prison for as long as the law will allow. You've been warned." President Trump gave a blanket pardon to individuals who participated in the January 6th, 2021 attack on the Capitol. Many of them were involved in assaults on law enforcement. I know that you've been asked briefly about this issue during your appearance here today. But let me just take a couple of examples. Julian Gator sprayed U.S. Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick with pepper spray. Officer Sicknick died the next day. Gator admitted to this violence. He pleaded guilty to assaulting officers with a deadly weapon. He was sentenced to more than 6.5 years in prison for his crimes against law enforcement officers before he was pardoned by President Trump. So my question to you is, do you support President Trump's pardon of Mr. Gator?
Senator, I can't comment on the executive and the president's exercise of his enumerated constitutional powers or comment at all on a coordinate branch's use of its enumerated constitutional powers any more than I could comment on the House's use of the power of the purse. I am comfortable saying I abhor political violence of all kinds.
Well, this individual atrociously assaulted a Capitol police officer, and you're unwilling to say whether you support a pardon that allowed him to go free without any record of a crime?
Senator, as a judicial nominee, it would be improper for me to wade into a public conflict like that and comment on the president's use of his pardon power or President Biden's commutation of people on death row. Those are issues that I think are improper for a judicial candidate to comment.
I'm talking about violent assault on a police officer. Ryan Nichols, for example. Ryan Nichols also pled guilty to assaulting law enforcement officers. He pushed the crowd against officers who were defending the door at the Capitol. And after the attack, he posted a video to Facebook where he said, quote, "I'm going to be violent now." And he said, quote, "If you want to know where Ryan Nichols stands for violence." He was sentenced to more than 5 years in prison. President Trump pardoned him. What do you think is the reason that would justify that pardon?
Senator, I wouldn't stand to speculate on the president's reasoning.
Well, do you support it?
Senator, again, I can't comment on separate branches' exercise of its enumerated constitutional powers.
Are there any limits to what you would not support in terms of the pardon used by the president?
Senator, you stated any limits to what I would support. I'm stating that I cannot comment on President Trump's use of the pardon power or President Biden's use of his power of commutation for people on death row.
Well, I haven't asked you about President Biden's use of the pardon power. And for you to gratuitously talk about other uses of the pardons, I think is simply meant to distract from this use of the pardon power with respect to these individuals who committed assaults, brutal assaults on police officers. My time has expired. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Before I call on Senator Hawley, I have a letter here supporting Mr. Ganjei's nomination